Hello there. In this, let's start with Azure OpenAI. So, Azure OpenAI is a cloud-based platform that provides access to OpenAI's artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. So basically, OpenAI is another company which they're referring to, and when we clubbed or use the OpenAI services technologies into the Azure, we simply name it as a Azure OpenAI. So we are basically OpenAI already had trained models. Like we all see about the ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is basically their trained model, which OpenAI already trained it. So if the users or the companies would like to integrate that kind of bot like we have seen in the chat gpt, and there are many use cases, then we can use the apis. So if you have an Azure subscription and your workloads is in Azure and you are using Azure aggressively, then inside the Azure itself they have provided us the feasibility to use the API of OpenAI. Like, so that's why the name is now Azure OpenAI, because the OpenAI APIs will be now used itself in Azure. So you need to create a resource. Like in Azure Cloud, we have created the resource like virtual machines and VMs, or let's say app service whatsoever. So it will be treated like a resource in Azure. So once you create that resource of Azure OpenAI, you will be seeing that particular resource, and you'll be having some apis, for example in the like a chatbot, and then you will be training or fine tune that particular bot based on your data. It can be bot, but there can be many models which is already trained, and we can use the api and use that api in our code, and then directly will depict what kind of application we would like to build. So that's a brief about the Azure OpenAI. So let's read further. So it enables developers and data scientists to build and deploy AI models and application using NLP or natural language processing, computer vision, and other advanced AI capabilities. So let's say if you are a company who need to use the AI technologies, but you know, right, developing from scratch the AI model or the AI application, it's not that easy. So with the help of Azure OpenAI, you have already predefined models available for you. You just need to consume their APIs and develop or integrate your application to it. For example, you are, let's say, a pharmacy, or you are a doctor application where a lot of users visit your website and ask for some consultation and all. So you can develop that kind of bot which will answer some of those queries for your patients, like they have fever, cold, and based on the symptoms, based on how you are training your model, that bot can answer those queries. But yeah, of course, after integrating the API with your application or a website, we need to train it, or we need to fine tune that model so that it will be adhered to what your patients needs in this case. That's just a one example, but we're going to discuss many more examples. Then we have Azure API, Azure OpenAI provides a set of APIs. Like I said, they provide the API. So it's not only the bot, it provide the APIs for other services. For example, computer vision. Basically, let's say your application would like to detect any of the material which is presented in front of you, any of the fruit, for example. So your application can detect that. For example, if it's a fruit, so with the help of OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, your application will be able to detect that particular fruit. Based on that, you have to train that model. Just a scenario, just a use case, but I'm just telling that that's how it can work. You don't need to develop the application, you don't need to develop the full-fledged artificial intelligence APIs. Instead, use the Azure OpenAI APIs which is already available and integrate with your code, so it's kind of a ready to eat. Only thing is you need to fine tune or train that model. So here Azure OpenAI provides a set of APIs and pre-built models for tasks such as language translation, sentiment analysis, image recognition, making it easier for developer to integrate AI to your application. So yeah, like I said, Azure AI APIs will help you to use the artificial intelligence or integrate the AI within your application. For example, you are developing, or let's say you are developing some application which needs a translation from, let's say, India, like Hindi to English, or from English to French, like that. So if you keen on writing this full-fledged application or trying to develop this, it's gonna consume a lot of time. But with the help of APIs, you just use that API, provide your tokens, the passwords and all, and once you do that, you will be ready to use that particular application or functionality. So that's how easy it is. Or for example, sentiment analysis, meaning that let's say you are getting a lot of feedbacks, so you need to analyze that sentiment of your customers. Or for example, you are a big company, you're getting in reviews, the reviews from your organization that the company is doing well or not. So from that particular feedback, you can tell that, hey, if it's a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment, because reading those each and every feedback is not possible. So with the help of sentiment analysis, this can be done within just few seconds. So that's how easy it is to integrate it, and we're going to discuss the how you will be able to integrate after learning those models. So also, it also includes the tools for training and customizing model, as well as infrastructure for scaling and deploying applications. So now, how easy it is Azure has made for us, that you have the OpenAI API is ready for you. You can dip, let's say you are using app service or virtual machines. You just need to use that API and just provide that API into that deployed application over the app service or a virtual machine, and you can directly use that the services for the like which OpenAI is providing. So it will be very easy and smoothly done. But previously it was not that the case. There are a lot of there's a lot of time investment, money investment needs to be done for developing the AI applications. But now with the help of APIs, Azure OpenAI AI, the APIs which they have provided, it made very easy. So in the next, we're going to discuss more features of Azure OpenAI that will help you to understand more. So that's all for this session. Let me know in case you have any queries or feedback. I'll be happy to explain you. I hope you are enjoying it, and feel free to reach me out on the message. I will be very happy to help you. Thank you. We'll see you in the next.